I think learning current events and how they impact stocks is so important. I can't tell you how often people call in on my show and they have no idea that the reason why the coal stocks are going down is because there's a front page article in the Washington Post about how Nancy Pelosi has decided her mission in life is to not have power plants use coal. And they'll call and say, why was Peabody coal? Why was Arch coal down? Aren't the earnings great? And I said, well, you know what? You got to read the front page. Don't just read the business section. And there's also a national essay contest, which I really like. People have to be able to articulate, and articulate writing is very important. And don't forget, teachers in your schools get prizes, trip to Disney World, laptop. You get to learn, and I really love this stuff because I still don't, if I had a pencil, I would do it with a pencil, but I still am amazed how many people call me and they'll say, Hanson stock is splitting. Oh, no, I don't want to, it would involve breaking your pencil. It's not fair, I break one of mine. Hanson stock is splitting, I get so much more money. No, you split a pencil in half, now do you have two pencils? Yeah, you got two really short pencils. But this teaches that. I mean, how great it would be. You'd be surprised if people embarrass themselves nationally every night on my show. Wow, a stock split, how fabulous. A merger. People don't know what a merger is. They don't know the vocabulary. You know, last night I stopped in the middle of my show, and I write my show beforehand, and I've got bullet points in the prompter. And last night I mentioned that that there was visibility to earnings. And I realized, would anyone know what visibility means? I mean, would anyone know what that means is that you can say, you know, I think that company might be doing well 5 years from now. And then I said, you know, we used to think that Johnson & Johnson had great visibility, but they have all these big drugs, and when they go off patent. And now I'm like starting to go, and I realize, I mean, I have this, unfortunately, I have this thing in my mind where there's like a million things going in my mind. I realize, oh, shoot, I just mentioned patent. Do people know what a patent is? Do people know what patent protection is? Do people understand that if you don't have it, then you can't see that Johnson & Johnson might do well? You know that Johnson & Johnson may not do well in 2010. And so finally I just said, okay, visibility means that the company stinks if it doesn't have it, and it's great if it does. Okay, and if it just put it like that. But how great it would be if everyone took the stock market game, they would know that they would pick stocks that would do well 5 years from now, and then they would even back in and maybe discover what it is, what visibility is. So I urge you to take advantage of the upcoming professional development stuff for your teachers. I think they'll leave excited and ready to prepare your students for a world of savings and investing, learning about the economy, maybe learning about math. I always say the same thing to my class at night of Mad Money. It's got 1 million viewers. It's not even math. It's arithmetic. Don't be freaked out. I taught at that point when I first started, a 5th grader, a lot of the concepts that I'm teaching tonight. And I feel like that this game may be so much bigger. I don't want to slight English. I think English is, for me, the most important class. I don't want to slight history. It always just kills me that my kids have so little history. I think that arithmetic, mathematics is incredibly important. In the end, the people who excelled at my hedge fund, the people who excel in TheStreet.com, people who excel at CNBC are people who have facility with math. I think that the notion of writing is incredibly important, and it's not. I see so many people who write things, and I can't believe that. I guess they rely on spell check, but they don't understand that you have to actually have sentence construction. So I'm not trying to say that the stock market gain trumps any of the topics that are so vital. Should everyone learn science? Of course they should learn science. But I often wish, as I did when I was in that 12th grade economics class, that there had been a stock market alternative to physics or chemistry for the people who knew they weren't going in that direction. I think it's important that we have those. I recognize that a lot of our physics and chemistry was put into our curriculum because we hated the Russians in 1959. And I think that we ought, because of Sputnik, and I think that we ought to recognize that the Russians, like them or hate them, are not the reason to have a curriculum. And what we ought to be teaching is how to be able to be self-sufficient in an age where neither the government nor your company could give a darn about whether you are. So anyway, the stock market game is right up my alley. I sure wish I had it. The one that I created wasn't nearly as good. You're all blessed to have all the materials. You're blessed to be able to put this thing in turnkey. And I just urge you to do it. And I thank you for listening to my Mad Money spiel.